Hi there, this is Kathy Crow here at the Crow Cottage. Thank you so much for joining me today. I have a fun box card. It's a stage card, I think. I forget what this is called actually, but it's a slider. And if you were watching Erica Serwin's video last week, you saw her make this project. It's a really cool one, and I had to do it because I wanted to do something with that legendary ride. So we're gonna actually do two cards, same card though. And let me grab I'm trying to get my feed going here on the side so I can see what's going on. And I can't yet, but anyway, I'll keep working on it as I blab here. It'll show up eventually. I don't know why it hasn't already. But anyway, this is going to be a really fun one. Now, today it is a beautiful day. I was out on our porch so long today because I just didn't want to come in. It's really, really nice out there. So it's going to get warm in here, actually. This room is very sunny and bright. So when it's warm outside, it's like super warm in this room with the door shut. Normally I have the door open, but anyhow, there is a bunch of really cool paper I want to show you. I am going to be using Enjoy the Journey paper. Now this paper came with the Enjoy or Not Greatest Journey stamp set. When you buy this set, you get a whole bunch of really cool photopolymer stamps, but you also get a whole bunch of dies, and in the dies you get this really nice tent. It's cute, and a bunch of people that are running and biking and other things. So it's a really cool one. You're gonna like that. I'm also gonna use this Sending Smiles. This is the die that Erica recommended using because it's one of our best long ones. It's gonna work for this slider card. But I ended up using these stamps too because it goes really well with it. And then the other stamp set that I'm gonna use today is Legendary Ride. And this one is a really good one for Father's Day if you're looking for something for guys or for bikers, because really bikers are coming all young, old, male, female. Doesn't matter who you are a biker or you know a biker. Now, I consider myself not a biker, but I like to ride around on my little pedal bike a lot. I don't really consider myself a biker because of that. That doesn't really qualify, does it? I mean, that would be cool if it did, but it doesn't. All right, so then I am going to show you my my paper first before we even get going. And let me show you my offer. Buy a bundle, either bundle. You can get the Sending Smiles bundle or the Greatest Journey bundle or the Legendary Ride bundle. If you get any of those, you will qualify for getting a free embellishment. And really, it's just about anything that is. I'll send you a free embellishment probably if you, come on, you can do this. If you spend about $60 and more. Okay, it takes that much to do our embellishments. Everything has gone up, hasn't it? So this is my paper that I'm going to be using. And I kind of am lopsided here. That's okay for now because I want to just show you the paper. So Enjoy the Journey I have used this with a bunch of sets. There's this star one that goes really well with a stamp set because one of the sentiments is you belong among the stars. And then there's a sentence or one, I'm going to use this Mountain of Thanks one today. There's also a really good graduation one. This moment is the start of something great, or I'm so inspired by your courage. You belong among the stars and wishing you joy in this next adventure. Those are all great graduation sentiments. So if you're looking for graduation stuff, that would go too. This paper has these really fabulous mountainscapes already done for you. So you can just stamp right on it or put those, the people images that you'll see me use on it. There's also this is the one that I'm going to use on my card. It's this green mountain one. I also have already used this purple one. It's pretty neat. And then there are trees and just more sky and and another landscape. This is your deserty landscape. Isn't that beautiful? It's got really pretty colors, and it's the backs are nice too for your more generic kind of setting. So anyhow, I really like this paper. This one is just plain without the sun or moon or whatever you wanted to call it on there. So I'm going to put this one on the top because that's the one I'll be using today. And then today's card, I'm going to be using this is not just jade, but that's what I'm going to be using. It's close to it. So I'm going to be using just jade with this. I'm going to slide it in there. And then I'm also going to be using Pool Party. And Pool Party's not a perfect match in there either, although it is for the lighter one. It's really super close. So we're going to use those. I'm going to put that aside so I can show you our legendary ride. Now this one I don't have a whole lot left. Now this sheet has got all of these motorcycles printed, and in the stamp set there's one that you're going to stamp, and I'm actually going to use the one that's stamped. I have fussy cut one of these out. Now the nice thing is it's got a reverse image, so you could do two together if you want to fussy cut them, but this die cuts the stamped image out but does not cut this out. You have to fussy cut it if you want that. There's also some really cool motorcycle parts that are in here that make, you could layer up some really nice motorcycle bits. Where did I put those? Anyway, I had cut a bunch of them out, and I don't even know where they are. Now, I've taken some of the labels from this paper and cut the label parts of them off. Let me show you what I'm talking about. There's a sheet in here, where are you, that has a whole bunch of labels like that and that. These are standalone card ones. I've used this. I've used one. I think I've used two of these, but maybe not, because I'm not sure that you normally only get two of these sheets. On the back are really pretty glossy designs, and they're black. They're really nice for your guy cards. The card I'm going to make is not a guy card, because that black is also really great to pair with pink. I'm going to pair it with Bermuda Bay today, but it would go really good with reds and pinks too. Okay, so these are my scraps. I'm saving them because they are so cool. I'm going to use this as my tread. Now here's how the card looks, okay? So it folds flat, and you can just mail it in any standard envelope, and then it opens up and they can stand it up. Those are my instructions on the back. I'm going to use one of these treads, and I folded it so it's a little bit thicker and stuck it on, or no, I didn't fold it. I just put it on a black mat. So your card slides, and this is where I used my sending from that Sending Smile step. Isn't that cute? This is so fast. You're going to be shocked at how fast that is to go together, but look at how that shines. So pretty. And then this one has the wrenches. I like that. This is like the racing flag checkerboard. Isn't that neat though? You could almost do like an optical illusion kind of card with this. And then this side is really cool, bomber jacket, and you can make a brown card. I did a really nice one doing kind of a vintagey kind of stuff with it, which these roses reminded me of that. Now I haven't used the roses yet. They're pretty special, but because they're black, they're sort of somber. You know, I'm not a black rose fan. I don't know. I'm just not into that. So I'm going to have to go on Pinterest and see what people have done with this, because I'm sure there's something really cool that I could be doing with this if I knew what I was doing with it. But I'm thinking I would want to cut each one of these out. I don't really want to do that. Let me look at the stamp set. I think it does cut out the roses. I'm pretty sure there's a rose die. It has like every die in here. No, I do not see the die for that. No way. No way. Okay, so I lied. There is no die. So I would have to cut each one of those out. I'm not doing that. All right, the brown is good because it's like a map. I like that. And that would go really well with the other one. And then that's the bomber jacket. Okay, now my tread is going to be going this way. So I got a little scrap here, but I am saving that scrap for future use. And I've used this side. This is actually my favorite side. Do I have any left? This might be it. I better have some left because that's going on my card today. Oh, it's the wrench page. Good. Whew. I've got it all cut up because I don't want to lose any of it. It's really cool. And I have to use it this way. So this is the sheet I'm using. I don't want to screw that up because I need that and I need this. So I'm going to keep those two out. We're going to start on that one just to get that out of the way because that's the only page that I'm sort of limited in what I've got, you know, product-wise to actually make this card. I love this paper. It's so pretty. So you're going to really like it too. You need to get it before it's gone. As soon as people start getting in on their Father's Day cards, that is going to go super fast. It'll be gone before you know it, and it won't be back in time to use. I'm just going to tell you, it's not going to be back in time to really use. Once things start to disappear on us, my little feet on my glass, they don't want to stay on, but I want you to stay on. You're going to stay on. Okay, there we go. I think I've got it fairly centered. Maybe not, maybe not. I did have it centered and then I kind of messed it up. There we go. That's a little better, a little better. I think that's going to have to do. All right. I have got some jokes. I also found, I guess there's more to the story, the St. Patrick's Day story. I've never really known the story of St. Patrick's, apparently. So I've got some information about that. Put that up, and then maybe I can get everything in here. Let's see. Okay, that's looking a little better. I still am just not happy with all of my glare. Okay, we've got lights kind of glaring, but I kind of need to do that in order to... Let's see if I can put them to the side, and maybe that will help. Okay, maybe that helped a little bit. All right, so the only thing I can say is that I hate being at an angle. It drives me crazy every week, but my camera arm isn't quite cooperating. I need to do something with it to fix that because that's driving me crazy. All right, so let me grab out the card. No, we're not doing, this is cute. This is what we're gonna do with our mountain one. Isn't he fun? So cute. I really like this card design. I've done these cards before, but I don't know that I thought I'd done a slider before. This one was a really easy one. That's why I liked it so much. It's super fast and easy. We're gonna cut a piece of cardstock. I'm gonna put my note here. We're gonna cut a piece 4 1/4 by 8. That's our starting point. So I'm just gonna take my Bermuda Bay. Okay, and we're going to cut it 4 1/4 down. And let's put this over here, out of my way a bit. We're going to cut it 4 1/4 down the long side. Oh boy, I feel like I've had more than just the 2 cups of coffee that I had. I had 2 cups. I feel like I've had a bit more. You want to hang on to this because we're going to use that as well. Let me take my score tool. Turn our board around so I have it upside down. Now we do have by 8, correct? Yes, by 8. 4 1/4 by 8. Save this. You never know when you might need it. And now we're going to score this. We're going to score it at 1 1/4. 1 1/4. You can do this with me. I'm going to be moving pretty slow. 2 1/2. slow is my top speed. 5.5. Okay, 5.5 and 6 3/4. I had a the first teacher I ever worked for. She was something else. She was a great teacher, but my goodness. And she finally told me, and this was it would have been nice actually if she just told me this earlier. Then I would have known what I was up against. Go ahead and burnish these. That I was, what did she call me? Something methodical, and I don't know. She didn't mean it as a compliment. And I was like, well, I don't like what you're saying, but I can't really disagree. That's partly why I do things the right way, is because I'm not rushing so much that I screw it up, usually too much. Okay, now what we're gonna do, this is our little background. I want to cut all of that DSP. So we're going to cut, let me turn my paper over. See what I mean about methodical? Okay, so the DSP is, we're going to do 4 of them for these sides, 4 of them. We're going to do them 1 1/8 by 4 1/8. So first of all, let's do the 4 1/8 cut. 4 1/8 cut. So I want my pictures to be going, up and down, obviously. So that 4 1/8, I'm not going to lose this, because I'm going to need that. This is just for the 4 arm pieces. And I want these arm pieces to be in the order that they are coming off of this. So this is going to be 1 1/8. So we're going to do 4 of them. So 1 1/8 times 4. There's 1. 1 1/8 again, 2, and again 1 1/8. I can get it on that line, and 1 more, 1 1/8. Boy, I really wanted all of that cactus. Not really getting all of the cactus. That's too bad. In fact, I'm not getting any of them. I'm gonna hang on to you because the cactus part's the cool part. All right, so I'm trying to kind of keep these in order. And before we even do any more cutting, I'm going to go ahead and glue these on so that I don't get them out of order, because I will if I mess around. So you just take your glue and put that right on here. Did I already get them out of order? That doesn't look right. It's like a puzzle piece. I must have them backwards. No. Hello. How did you go? Oh, brother. See what I mean? Okay, now, why are you not working? Yeah, that one, that doesn't really quite work right. Now, those 2 I know are correct. Something's wrong here. That one must be here. No. That one must be here. No. There we go. That one. And that one. Okay, so this is the first one. Whew, that was so difficult. Okay, there we go. All right, don't you feel good that you're not the only one that does really dumb things? Okay, so here we go. I'll put all of these in here. Before I would ever cut anything on the cutter, if I had a shortage of paper when I was working in schools, man, I double checked a few times. Measure once and cut twice does not work well when people are trying to keep their paper supply going good. And you just witnessed why I have to do that double check. Sort of like they tell you when you're driving, before you cross an intersection, you check back, you check back, you check back again. You do your double check. You do a check 2 times. Don't just rely on that one check. And then we have a lot of 4-way stops here, so I do have to admit that people being super cautious on that starts to get a little bit annoying, but better that than to have a whole lot of accidents. Okay, so this is going to leave you with about a 1/8 border, which is what you want. Okay, cute, cute. Now we're going to do the back piece. The back piece is 2 7/8 by that same 4 1/8. Okay, so we'll just take this one. We'll go 4 1/8. Because the pictures are random enough, we do not have to fuss with it. And then 2 7/8. I know that seems a little bit more fractional than you want, but that's what we're getting. 2 7/8, because I want it to go right to the edge. Doesn't that look good? Oh, I love it. It's so cute. This paper is fabulous. And I'm not a big desert fan. If you like deserts, you're going to really like this. It goes along with the Route 66 idea. And it's actually, my husband corrects me every time, Route 66, not Route 66. If you're a Nat King Cole fan, you'll get what I'm talking about there. Okay, there. Very cute. Now we'll do the little band that's going to hold the bottom of it. Okay, so we'll set that aside. And the band. Turn my paper over again. All right, the band is 5 1/2 by 3 1/4. I don't even know if these are Erica's. I went by her instructions for a while, and then I realized I kind of needed to make some adjustments on her. It wasn't because hers were wrong, just because I do things weird. Okay, so 5 1/2. So we'll go 5 1/2 on this side, like this, 5 1/2, and then we want 3 1/4 this way. I'm sure those are exactly what she said to do. I just had trouble when I was doing it. Now we're gonna score the long side. No, we're scoring, I've got written down score the long side, but it's actually score the short side. Good thing I haven't written these out, except for me. So 1 1/4, that doesn't seem right. Huh, because I need a little one. Anyway, we're gonna do it anyway. 1 1/4, that doesn't seem right. And then 2 1/2. Oh, the 2 1/2 is where I get my little one on the end. Okay. So now that we've done that, this is our little band that we're going to make for our slider. I threw away my little piece that I had left, and I bet this is the exact, it is. That's almost the exact width you want. You want this piece to be 5 1/2 by, I didn't write it down. Anyway, you want it to be about 5 1/2, which is what this is. And it should actually be a little bigger than I've got. You probably want it 1 1/8, I'll bet is what I want. And I've got like 1 here, but you really would like it to be 1 1/8 because you want it to be pretty snug. But since this is like a perfect size for it, I'm going to use it anyway. Now, before I do anything else, I need to use that die and cut this middle part out. And it's this long, skinny one in here. Right here. So we're going to just lay this right in the middle and cut it out. You don't have to be super exact. Just make sure that it's reasonably in the middle of where the front is going to be. This will be the front. Oops, that shifted a bit, and it also isn't quite where I want it. I'm going to bend this a little bit. It's like not grabbing on quite as much as it should be. Okay, there we go. Better. All right, so we'll roll that through. And if you want to, you can save your little scrap. It's so skinny that usually if you're going to stamp a sentiment on something as skinny as that, you would want it to be white. That's that Bermuda Bay is pretty dark. So your sentiment might not show up good enough. These are perfect for that sentiment size, aren't they? They're very tiny. And you could, if you emboss it, it might show up better, but okay, so now we can glue this together. Let's rub that down again. Okay, I'm just going to put glue on this flap right here. I could use tape. I prefer to use glue. And it's just because with tape, I have to hold it longer to make sure it's really adhered. With glue, I can just kind of hang on to it for a few minutes and it's going to be fine. Oh, I should have stamped my sentiment before I did that, but that's okay. I can still stamp it even though it's going to be raised a tiny bit, because what I want to do, I'm going to just use this word sending, and I just want the word smiles here. Sending smiles. That's all I have room for. And you would be writing on the back. There's not room for writing on this card. And I can use smiles. Where's smiles? Smiles right here. The smiles across the miles. That's what I'm going to use. I need that. Let's see. Smiles. Where are you? All right. Let's see what's going on here on the side. Hold on a second. Okay, there we go. Oh, don't act up. You're acting up. Okay, there we go. Smiles. Where are you? Oh, you're here somewhere. There's sunshine smiles. There it is, right there. I only need the word smiles, so I'm not even going to worry about the rest of the block. This is sort of hanging off. I don't care because, oops, I've got miles on there, but not smiles. Okay, it's a photopolymer, so it doesn't matter if it's not super squared up on my block. And we're going to just ink up the word smiles. Like that, and stamp you right there. Okay. I need to get another Simply Chamois. I haven't done it yet. I ruined mine. Oh, all right. I ruined it. I think I already told everybody how I ruined it, so I won't bore you with that. Okay, there we go. There's our little bridge. And then you're going to apply it. When you apply it, let's do the left side first. Okay, I'm going to put my, I think I better put my tread on here. I'm going to just take a piece of the tread. I know I want it to be 5.5 inches long. Okay, so 5.5 inches this direction. And I only need one of these kind of wider treads. I think I'm going to go down to the bottom and use that one. I kind of like that one. So I'm going to just cut a little bit there and cut right there. All right, and then I am going to just look at it and see how much of this I want on here, because I want to put it on some black cardstock, and I don't want to cover this up too much because my sliding business has to happen here. So let's trim this up right against that tread. And see if I need to trim it any more than that. It's pretty small, which is what I want. Perfect, because now I can put some black cardstock underneath. The black cardstock will just make it stand strong if I don't have some cardstock back there, it's not gonna really be strong enough. So I'm gonna take my glue and just glue this right on here and then trim around the edges to get it trimmed to the degree that I need it. Since those treads are all slightly different in width, I'm not even gonna mention how wide it might be. We just need a tiny, tiny little 1/8 of a border on it. And the tread itself is even a little bit crooked. So it's gonna be a tiny bit crooked, but that's okay. All right, so there is our little 1/8 of an inch edge, but not on the end. We don't need it on the end because I don't need it to stick off the card. Let's see if that's a little long. Let's cut this side. All right. Oops. I didn't hold that down very well, did I? There we go. When you get little pieces in there, make sure you clean out your track because that's partly why your blade starts to get dull is when you get a bunch of stuff down in there. All right, so this should go right on there. And we can just glue this on because the bike is going to ride on the top of it. We don't really need it to be raised at all. The bike's going to be raised enough. We don't need to add any height to it. Today, I bet when I go down to that park, that we've got, so all the daffodils are blooming. They're all up. Almost all of them are blooming. I know some are a little later than others, so their leaves are up, but it is so warm out there. I think it's going to be in the 70s today. I think Jeff said it was going to be 70. Wow. Seems so nice. Anyway, it feels really good out on our deck. It was, when the sun came out from behind the clouds, it was almost a little too warm. Okay, there we go. Now that we have this on, now we can apply the whole bridge to it. So let's go ahead and put some glue here. And hold that on there until it's good. Make sure it's nice and level. Okay. Looking good. And then when you apply this side, you want to flatten your card out. Okay, so I'm going to put some glue on the bottom here. And then flatten your card out so it'll be like it is when it's in its envelope. Hang on to it. I think I got a tiny overflow of glue there. Perfect. All right, now we're ready for this end. And I want to, when I do my slider, we're going to slide this direction. Now, if you've got, that's because the bike is facing that way. Now, if you are taking, I'm going to stamp my bike. Do I have one that's cut out? Yeah. The little one goes the other direction. So obviously, if I was going to use the little bike, then I would just have it sliding on this side instead. But I'm going to use the big bike. The little one is really more to scale, isn't he? But he's not as impressive. I like the big one. So we're gonna, I don't need to punch this back side, but I want to punch a nice little edge here. And I'm just gonna use, let's see, what have we got? We're gonna use, this is Delightful Tag Topper. This is an old one, but it has a circle in it. What do we have right now that's got we have a bunch, and we do have this one too, this scalloped tag topper, but I don't need the hole to be that big, so you could just do a punch, any old punch, and then, you know, just punch a hole in the top would be fine too. And we'll use use our black twine. I used ribbon that, what was that stuff? It doesn't tie up very nice. It's kind of, as you can see, it's a trim. It's not a ribbon, it's a trim, and it's almost elasticy. It's glistening. That's why I used it, because it's glistening. But seriously, you don't stay nice enough to there. That's the second or third time I've tied that thing. Okay, so for this one, for your twine, you can just loop it. Go through. Pull that through, and then you can do the length however you want, long or short. Do this one and then that one a bit longer, so they're not exactly the same length. And then to get that to stay nice, you can unravel it, and then it'll stay better. You'll want to shorten it a little bit. I'm leaving it kind of long just to work with for now. Now we'll shove that in there, and we're ready to put on our things. Now I've got a tiny piece of black that I cut from my excess. This is, where's my other piece? I had another piece in here. Where is it? I don't even know. But you could probably even use your label. But you just need it to be about 4 inches long. This is a little short for that. You need it to be long enough to carry the bridge. You want something to support your word, and so I've just extended it a tiny bit. I folded it. This is about, I'm gonna guess about less than half of an inch, maybe 3/8 of an inch, and then I just folded it in half. It doesn't have to be exact. It's just that when you put your words in here, let me put away my paper scrap. Let me put away all of my paper scraps so I don't lose those. There's that methodical bit coming back into play, kind of messing things up. Okay, here you are. So when you take your words, I've already cut one of the black ones out, and I think oh, here it is. So this is one that I cut 2 in case I wanted to do a second one. This one's even skinnier, but that would work even better. You just score it in the center and fold it. It doesn't have to be very thick, and it needs to be thin enough that it's going to go back behind here at the very bottom. And you'll just be gluing that right on there, and you don't want to see this. Okay, so if it's pretty thin, that's good. I've folded it just to give it some extra stability. And then I believe I think I've got, this is not Bermuda Bay, but it's, what's that other one? It's not Pool Party. It's not Bermuda Bay, it's the other one. What's that? I don't think this is Pool Party. It could be Pool Party. Anyway, it's close enough to our Bermuda Bay, so that's what I'm using, because I already had it cut out and ready to go. So we've got our Sending Smiles. We'll just glue this onto the words. And when you cut these out, if you cut them out on your adhesive backed paper, which I never remember to do, if you do that, it sure does make it easier to adhere. At least that's the theory. For me, when I adhere things with adhesive already on it, a lot of times it doubles up on itself. And I end up having almost as much trouble with it as I do if I just use glue. That's just my clumsy nature. If I wasn't so clumsy, it would work beautifully. Okay, there we go. Okay, so our glue's on there. I'm going to stand up so that I make sure that I get this centered on here good. This is the part I sometimes have a hard time with. There we go. Now I don't have my blue dot, but that's okay. We're going to live with it anyway. And then if it feels a tad bit sticky, if you really quick, just a little bit of moisture, not a lot, just enough to get that excess glue off the top. It's going to make life easier for you. Let me get rid of this, and then we'll glue it to this. Glue it to the flat side. We're just going to glue the whole bit of the word right here at the bottom. Right like that. Yeah, let's do this. Let's stick it on here on this side so you can see what I'm doing. Okay, now flip it over though if you glue it that way so you can make sure that it's not, it can be, you're going to see it a tiny bit right there between the D and the I, but that's about it. All right, now we've got that done. So you can glue the ends, you see, to this, these ends. So you don't want to trim those off. You want it to be 4 inches long. This part, no glue, just a tiny bit on these ends. There and there. Right there. It's up a little higher this time than I did it before, but that's okay. I'll live with it. Okay, there we go. That's fine. And now we can do our Legendary Ride. I like the name. With one of the cards that I did, I brought in my One Wild Ride. This is our other motorcycle. We've had probably a few. This is the only other one I have. I have that for this Route 66. And the sentiments. The sentiments in this one are so funny. I love this one. So, yeah, I'm really glad that there is another motorcycle one, but let's see if this will work on here. It will. It works great, in fact. You know, maybe I'll just use this. I don't know. This is not as strong as our cardstock, so I think I'm going to go ahead and stamp it up. And it's a cling. So to just be on the safe side, I am going to get my Stamparatus out and we're going to use the Stamparatus just to be sure if I need to restamp, I'll be able to do it. Okay, now I don't need the foam plate. I'll leave that a magnet down there, although it's not really needed. I need it anyway. Put some paper in here. Okay, we'll stick our motorcycle here. And we'll ink that up. Now, one thing that you can do, I should show you while I'm here, and that way if I want to reference it to something, I'll be able to. I'm going to leave my magnets there, but I'm going to move my plate up here. Okay, so let me show you something. You can, no, I can't do it that way. I have to do it. I have to do it this way. No, yeah, okay, I do have to do it this way, but I need to move my motorcycle like this. So if you want to show your motorcycle moving, you can start with one here, and then we're going to move them back without re-inking. So I'm going to do a sample just to show you what I'm talking about. And I'm sure you already know this about how to show movement with your stamps, with something like this that's moving like a car or an airplane, or in this case, a motorcycle. This is really cool. Okay, so I've got a handy tool right here. It's going to press that really well. And then you just move your hinge over one spot. Oops. Oh, I went the wrong direction. I'm going to have to actually move, instead of moving my hinge, normally you would just move your hinge. I better do it again and do it the right way. I'm going to save this one. This is a good impression. We'll use this one for my card. Okay. I can't move that direction. I have to move this direction. So I'm going to take my motorcycle and start here. Going like this. Okay. All right. All will make sense in a moment. My magnet's back into place. Okay, so I actually want to put my motorcycle all the way to the edge here. And we're going to do our first impression here. Ink that up good. Let me move my magnet because that's going to be a problem right there. Okay, so I'm going to use this tool to push down. It works really good. All right, now we've got one impression, and then all you do is lift out your hinge, move it over one, push one more time, and one more time. One more movement. And I went off the paper, but if I had my paper long enough, you get the idea. Okay, so let's do that. And then it shows it moving. If you'd seen the whole thing, it would. You could do not a whole hinge and just do partial and not do the hinge, you know. You can do it just with your regular stamps as well. Now, I think I can actually use this motorcycle maybe. I don't know. We'll see. I'll think about it. I'm going to just put this piece of cardstock on the side. But I do want to make sure I wipe off any ink that might have gone on there because I kind of went off the paper. Dry you off. Okay, there we go. Now we can put everything back. Oop, let me clean you up. You're messy. This plate is getting kind of messy. I better get it cleaned. That. Do your blocks get yucky quick? I don't know. Mine seem to get really yucky quick with all of the kind of yucky adhesive that's on the back of them. The stamps, the clean stamps. That's another reason, I guess. I don't like the clean stamps as well, but then I do like the way they stamp. They do stamp better. I do have to admit they stamp better. All right, now what we're going to do is take this one. I'm going to cut that out. And we'll adhere it, and we will be done with that card. We'll do the next one. And the next one should go just a tiny bit faster. The second one always goes faster. I think it does. So loud. Okay. That die out. It's kind of falling right out. Okay, I'm going to have to peek over here at my jokes. I don't think anything, it doesn't seem like anything all that alarming has happened recently here. Our neighbor said that he woke up the other night and there was a really loud bang. He said, did you hear that loud bang? Well, I had heard some lightning and thunder a few nights before. And I think actually that was the loud bang I heard. I don't think I heard, the night he was talking about, there was no thunder and lightning. He was talking about, so I stupidly said yes, but I actually don't even think I heard what he was talking about, because he said it was like really loud. And he said there was a big plume, so he went and looked out there. There was a big plume of smoke. I thought, a plume of smoke? And he said, I looked online and I didn't see any reference to it at all, so I don't know what happened. Do you know what happened? Like, no, I don't even, I'm actually embarrassed to tell you that I didn't really even hear what you're talking about. All right, so I actually just need the dimensionals right there. One right here. And another one right here. Okay, I just want to make sure I'm not going to see them, but I do want them to be all the way across. Make sure that they're really where I need them. Probably put one more there and maybe one more there. Right next to each other. All right, now you do kind of have to do this when they're inside. Mine's shifting a little because instead of doing it 1 1/8, it's about 1 inch, and that's so you really don't want it to shift around too much. It'll make it a little easier to do this part if it's not shifting, because it's got to be, your motorcycle has to do all of the covering of the adhesive part. I don't want any of this adhesive coming onto the card. Okay. All right, so we'll shove that on there good, and now we are ready to roll, literally, aren't they? Isn't that cute? I love that. It's so cute. Okay, next card. This one, we're going to have this little guy going. All right, so we're going to do the same paper. Okay, so we are doing our 1/8, our 4 1/4 by 8. Put away some of my stuff. Move you up a tiny bit. Let's see. What is my joke for the day? Oh, we did that one already. Why did I not cross it off? How does cereal pay its bills? This is a good kid one. How does cereal pay its bills? This would be a good way to teach your kids about bill paying in general. All right, so what I want is, I'm going to only use my Just Jade for our tent. So I really only need a scrap of that. I'm not even sure if I need that whole piece. But we do want our pool party at 4 1/4. Again, saving this part because we're probably going to use it. And then we're going to score the long side at 1 1/4. Okay, 1 1/4, 2 1/2, 5 1/2, and 6 3/4. 6 3/4. I didn't cut it. I didn't cut the 8 part off, so I need to do that because we want this by 8. So let's cut the 8-inch off, and now we are ready to burnish. And then we're going to put that mountain paper on. It's so cute. Now on the paper, I'm gonna stamp our trees, I think. Are those my stamps, or no, actually those trees are on that paper already. Let's look at the paper. So we want the trees, we can't get all of the trees and get the top of this mountain because we want this to be 4 1/8. So when we look at this, 4 1/8, you can see that I'm going to end up trimming really close to that mountain. So I'm going to trim just a teeny tiny strip off of the bottom. Just a tiny strip. And now I'm going to cut it this direction. Let me make sure I'm getting it correct. Yes, 4 1/8. 4 1/8. And that way we get the whole mountain here in the middle. And this mountain in the middle is where we're going to start because I want this to be in the center of our picture. So this piece is 2 7/8. Since this is kind of fuzzy there, I'm going to cut that off right there. And now we're going to go cutting this. This is our center, 2 7/8. Okay. That is our center. And you see, you have your nice trees down there. Really nice. Love that. Okay, so how does Cereal pay its bills? It pays with checks. Checks. C-H-E-X. That's a pretty good one. If your kids like check cereal, that would be a good one, teaching them how to pay their bills with checks, although who does? Because I think most people pay it online now, so that's probably not a joke that's going to be long-lived. Okay, now each arm, remember, is 1 1/8. So we're going to go this way, 1 1/8. And another one, 1 1/8. Okay, so those are the two on the right, or left, excuse me. Let's just do them right now before I have a chance to turn them about and get them on there wrong. Okay, that one and this one. Oh my goodness, I'm starting to really sweat. I'm going to have to... It's getting so warm in this room. All right, we have a brick front. And oh my goodness, I think that brick really helps to heat this house. I do not want to put air conditioning on in March. Now, for you guys who are living in Florida and other beautiful places like that, I mean, I know you're used to having to use air conditioning. Okay, 1 1/8, but I am not. I don't want to have to pay that air conditioning bill. Can you believe how expensive our energy has become? 1 1/8. We all know who we have to thank for that. There's a few people we could blame, I guess. Oh, okay. I'm just glad I don't... I don't live in a state... I don't know that we have dam-generated power in this state. We don't, I don't think. But if we did, I wouldn't be worried about it disappearing on me. It's a very cheap and renewable form of energy. All right. Let's see. And it does not harm the environment. I'm sorry. You should go look at the dams and see how they manage all that sometime. All right. I did get a tiny bit of glue on the edge, but it doesn't matter because my little arm's going to cover that anyway. So I'll be putting glue on it. This is actually a really good technique to do on a card front, doing segments, you know. So when you've already got your stuff all stamped, whether you've stamped it or you're using paper, you can separate it out on little mats, and it looks great when you do that. All right, so now all we need is the little arm. So we are going to do pool party for the little arm. So let's see here, 5 1/2. No, yes, 5.5 by 3 1/4. So we'll go 5.5 and 3 1/4. And then that is going to leave my little pull strip at for the inside. And then this we are going to score on the short side at 1 1/4. 1 1/4. And then 2.5. And we're going to use the die and cut that center piece out. Here. I went yesterday, they had a big yard sale. They called it a garage sale at our local. We have a really big antique mall really close to us. Just a mile, really, maybe 2 miles, maybe 3, I don't know. It's not far. In a car, it's very close. And I went, you know, I did buy a few things, but I didn't really notice there was any big sale going on. One thing that they have there are those, my daughter's got me stuck now. I'm buying all these pillow covers because I can have these fabulous, my desk shifted. Shoot. My desk shifted and my little legs are going nuts here on my... Oh, I have got people watching. I'm so sorry I didn't see you guys. Hopefully you're having a good day. I am. All right, so we've got that out of the way. How are you guys doing? Is it warm there in Moses Lake and in the Tri-Cities? It's very nice here today. Okay, now we've got that done. So you can fold this. Fold this and we'll glue it. My computer is acting up here. All right, so I'm going to put glue right here. So see, if you missed the first one, you can see the second one here. It does go together a lot faster, the second card. No matter what project you're making, the second one's always going to go together so much faster. Glue on my hands there, and you don't want to glue there. And I don't think I found my little, I had it up here on my shelves and I moved my, I think he must have fallen down somewhere. Oh, there it is. Yay, I found it. This is, oh, I have a washer attached to it. There's glue bits all over it. But, you know, these things are really useful for taking away any extra adhesive you've got. It's just an adhesive remover and super cheap and needed. I'm always needing it because I'm always getting glue all over my hands. Okay. All right, so I don't want to glue this on yet, because for this one, I want to load some trees up behind. And we do have that diorama dies. Those diorama dies look really cool with this. I've seen some people do. In fact, I think I used our gnome dies with this design with no sliding, you know, going on. But they look really good. So... All right, take your white cardstock. I did it on just jade, but I didn't really like that as well. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to stamp the trees, and I'm going to do 3 of them. And then we're going to take our tent. We're going to cut out the tent. We're going to cut out. The motorcycle would look good if I didn't have a tent, but I kind of like the tent. So We're going to stick with the Running Man. There's also, for a stationery card, a little person with a backpack and lantern. I really like that one. There's clouds in here. Do you guys know what this straight piece is? This looks like a ski pole. I bet it is. I bet you could use that as a ski pole. I don't know, but there's this mountain thing too. So if you wanted to make your own backgrounds on any card, you know, you could use this mountain edge. It's nice to have a mountain edge die to cut out. The stamps or the dies cut out the trees and the flowers. Now I am going to have to fussy cut the grass out because I wanted the grass too. So anyway, let's grab the trees first of all. And I think I'm going to use, I'm using Just Jade. I'm sticking with, or did I use, I might have used Soft Succulent. I don't really remember now. My Soft Succulent's on the top, so I'm thinking I might have used it. Let's try it. Okay, there's one. Yeah, that's perfect. I like that color. Soft Succulent, you're perfect. You're a perfect green. Not too yellow, not too blue. I'm dropping everything. Okay, I need that black cardstock, so hang in there. The little tree clump is nice. It stamps up really easily. There's a nice moon or sun in here, and there's stars. This is a really good general background kind of stamp set. And then having these, these silhouette, you know, runners and whatnot is a real plus too. Let's do the grass while I've got everything out here. I'm not going to do the flower grass because I don't want anything that fussy. So we're going to do 1, 2, 3. We're going to do 3 like that. And then I think I want to do a row. The row I want to do on some, I'm going to use my Pool Party extra piece, but actually, maybe I could do it even on, no, if this was longer, I could use that. It's a little on the short side. Might work though. I'm going to do it. I'm going to use this piece because I don't want a lot of height. I think this might actually work better. So I'm going to just do my grass on the bottom here. Oops, I'm going to double that up because I didn't, kind of messed that one up. I don't want to see the bottom so much. And I'm kind of staggering the heights a tiny bit just to get it not quite so uniform. I'm going to put that piece on the bottom. Let's see. Before I put this away, let's stamp our sentiment. And I think I'll stamp that on this scrap here. And I am going to use that mountain of thanks because there's a mountain in this one. If I didn't have a mountain in the picture, it wouldn't work. But I do. And if you use your stars paper, boy, wouldn't that be pretty? For that sentiment, that's the star one. Oh, I might have put that, I might not have enough room on that to get my die around it. So I'm going to do another one just to be sure. My die that I'm using is actually from Tasteful Tags. Is it called Tasteful Tags? What is it called? Tasteful Labels. Tasteful Labels is retired, I think. I love that one. I kind of stopped using it for a while because it was retired, but I like it so much. I've just gotten it back out again. I'm not limiting myself to these things. Just because it's retired, it doesn't mean I still don't really like using it. So I'm going to. All right, I'm having a hard time getting my die. It's my nails aren't letting me grab it. I'm gonna have to shift it around. Okay, now I got it. All right, whew, that was close. There's my grass. The way I'm gonna do the grass is I'm gonna just cut around, just kind of in general here. I'm not gonna try to do too fancy of cutting. If I were, you know, all by myself, I might try to make it go a little neater, but, and I actually do have grass dies that might kind of do the job a little. I'm not sure. I'd have to look to see. Now, if you want it to be a little more jagged than that, you're probably like me and you have these fancy cut edged things. And if you use those on some of these edges, you get a little bit more of a roughed edge, which can be kind of nice. It can make it look a little bit less like I just took my scissors and went around it. Okay? You just have to be careful not to snip off all of your, don't get it too patterny. That's probably the biggest rule is when you're doing anything, if you want it to look like it's going around the actual objects, you want to avoid the look of a pattern. Okay, so we'll cut out our trees first. Then we can assemble our cards. I stamped them with over just jade when I made the other card because I thought that maybe they would blend in better, these trees, to the actual card, you know, paper and all coloring. And it did, but in a way that I'm not sure I liked. So we're going to try this with white and see if I like the look of it any better this time. Oh. Help if I was going the right direction. Come on, you can do it. It's not always the magnet. It's sometimes it's me not doing it right. All right, let's see. I'm gonna get I need to throw away this joke page. I've done all those jokes. Throw that one away. Did you hear the rumor about butter? This is a funny joke. Did you hear the rumor about butter? I'm not spreading it. It's supposed to be funny, and I thought it kind of was. So I am going to use the same method with my scissors after I've kind of fussy cut a little bit here. But I'm going to put these to the side, and we'll get them out in a minute. Put on the card. All right, now get rid of my excess. Let's grab out my Tasteful Labels die. This one right here. And we're going to go this direction because especially if there's a point where your die is, always have that pointing towards the press. It's just going to roll a lot nicer through the machine. There we go. So cute. And now we'll do our little silhouettes, and then we'll finish assembling. We'll be all done. Okay, did you hear the rumor about butter? I'm not spreading it. I thought that was funny. Here's another one. What happens when a snowman throws a tantrum? What happens when a snowman throws a tantrum? Okay, get our little running guy here. And since I've got black, I'm going to go ahead and just do all of these while I'm right here. And I can be ready to do the other cards that I'll probably be making with this set that I haven't gotten to yet. You're going to like how easy those cut out. Look at that. So cute. He's stuck. Oh, he's so nice. We're going to use this guy, though, so I don't want him to get too messed up. That is definitely a lady with a lantern. Isn't that cute? Love those. That a lot. All right, now for our tent. We want to have the tent stand out really good. So I'm going to use Pool Party for the outline. I'm just using that extra scrap that we had handy for that. There's our little tent. You're so cute. Love it. And then we need a little piece of Just Jade. You know what? Where did that Just Jade go that I had in my hands a minute ago? I actually have a bit of scrap. I do. Let's get a scrap of Just Jade out. And then that's going to do the whole big background. You can see this is where I stamped some of those grasses on Just Jade. And, you know, it looked okay. I'm just thinking maybe I'm going to like this other better. Okay, so there's our tent. So I'm going to take the glue. I'll just put some glue on the tent. If I could get it to start, it's kind of clogged up a little bit. When it gets clogged up, it's like, oh no, it's not coming out smoothly. And that means when it comes out, it's probably going to come out in a big glob. Okay, now I'm going to lay, so this is the front. I'm going to lay you right on here so that it lays on right where I want it. Okay, and then again, just take your, if you've got a little wet, something that's just barely damp, just to get any of that excess really quick before it sets, and then it's going to not be sticky. Okay, and that will dry and you won't even, at least it should. That looks like I had ink on it or glue. If I have to, I will get my little, you know, glue remover, because that looks like ink or glue, not. Okay, so we will worry about that later. Here, where's my card? Where are you? We had you all assembled here somewhere. I thought. Where did you go? There you are. Okay, here you are. All right, so we have our tent. We have this part. We need to get our trees and our grasses down here, because I want to put some of the trees behind. So you just want to figure out how you want your trees. Do you want them here, here? I think I might like one here, just behind. You know, the trouble is, see, there are trees here already, so I don't really want to put these here, because then those look kind of goofy. So I'm just going to put them on the edge, like here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and glue this on. Then I'm going to slide my trees in really quick underneath before it has a chance to totally set. Okay, so watch and see what I'm talking about, because you do have to kind of move a little fast. So I'm going to do this, and then I'm going to just slide my little tree in here, kind of seeing where I want it. We'll put a little bit of glue on it, and then we're going to just slide you in here, right there. Okay, hold it in. Okay, then we're going to do the same thing on the other side. This one, I'm going to actually put the tree on the top, so I don't have to, I think actually I do have one underneath too, but I'm doing that one like real low, like here. And I'm just not gonna worry about that yet. So close your card, hold that shut in its closed position. And if this ends up coming out and over at all, just use your scissors and snip it, because it doesn't need to. So you see how it's kind of just come out a little bit. Just trim that off. All right, and now it's ready to go. So this tree, I'm going to slide it right behind like that. We're just going to put a little bit of glue on this one right there. And stick it in there before that slider has had a chance to really set. Okay, and then if you want to add here a tiny bit more glue to the tree, you know, right there to make sure that's going to stay there, you can do that. All right. All right, and then the next little bit, we want to take, not all of the tree clumps, I don't need all of it, but I want to have some of it right here. I don't really need that one or that one, because I'm going to put my little tent right here. So I think what I'm going to do is use my fancy scissors. We are going to just cut off those, and we're going to stick this guy here. Not with a dimensional. We'll just use some glue. Make sure it's not gluing into the... Okay, and if you want to make sure that it's not interfering with your slide, it's not going to, because the that tent is going to be there anyway, which is going to stop any movement happening too much this direction. Our guy, our little runner, where did you go? There you are. He's actually going to start here, and we're going to have him pull from this direction. Okay, he's going to be coming out that way from here out. So we don't really need to worry too much about how much this is interfering. I do see that looks like glue. Uh-oh, I'm a little scared. Normally, I think I would wait to do anything like this because I want to make sure that's really dried. Otherwise, I'll tear my paper. So I think that is glue. But I think I'm going to wait to mess with it until if I screw it up totally, I can always just cut another piece of my pool party and glue it right on there. It's not that big a deal. All right, now to get this on here, let's use our little mini dimensionals. And I'm going to use my black ones just because I happen to have a bunch of those right now. I'm going to put these around where the tent is going to be. Oops. Get on there. Okay. Oh, what happens when a snowman throws a tantrum? He has a meltdown. He has a meltdown. It's pretty good, huh? He does. I know some children who have had meltdowns. Just a few. All right, we're going to keep that tent covering that. I don't want to go any lower than that. Actually, don't know if I can get any on the end there. Now you can put your mini dimensional right on your tent. Just don't take off the backing. It'll still keep it raised a little bit there, and it'll keep it on and raised, but it won't interfere, because I'm afraid the top of that is going to be in that opening. So I'm going to just keep that covering on that one. This one, I think we can put another one like right here. And then that's going to be enough to keep the tent on. You'd be surprised how much these dimensionals can hold. They're pretty strong. Unless you've got kids jerking. Oops, I took it off, and I just told you I wasn't going to stick it back on there. There you go. Okay, there's your tent. And you want to use the black ones for this guy, for sure, because his feet are going to stick right in here. Okay, I'm going to pull, did I get it in? Oh no, it's in here. Let's get it going. Let me get my topper part. Okay, and our little ribbon, let's do that. This is just some soft succulent that we had in the catalog. Oh, I don't know when. The skinny ribbon I don't use all that often, so it tends to hang around a long time in my stash. Pretty much just use it for pulls. I don't think I use it much for anything else. Okay, so you're going to stick that in there. And then, because he's going to start behind my tent, like here, I'm going to move move it out, and I'm going to attach him here and hope that I've worked it out well. I should have attached him before I did the tent, but I didn't. Okay, so when you do him, just stick mini dimensional on his foot like this. Let's do the top where it's not going to show. Okay, so right there at the top of his foot, and then you can clip off the bottom part like that. Because it's black, if it shows a tiny bit, you're not going to see it. Oh, I see it a little bit right there. Let me get that off. Just that pointy edge. Oh, that was super loud. Sorry about that. Okay, so I'm sticking his foot to that slider. There we go. Oh, I did do him in the wrong place. I'm going to have to redo my tag top, because I got him in the wrong spot. Okay, so this is where he's going to go to. So I kind of need my tag topper to be here. Let's see if I can do it. It's close. Even out a little bit more. Right there. Oops, I locked it. Okay, now we can do it. What goes up and down but doesn't move? This is a good riddle. This would be a good one for kids. What goes up and down but doesn't move? That one's like perfect and that one's not. It's kind of weird. like sharp. Okay, there we go. All right, there's your pole. Sticking out a little, but that's the way it's going to be. All right, and then we've got our little grasses. So what did I do with them? Ooh, there you are. So I want to put my little grasses here. Just adhering it to the very bottom. And then he can run underneath, you see. So I do want to see him as he runs. So I'm going to take off some of this, just so I can see through there a little bit. And I did it in a line just because it's going to make it a lot easier for you to manage. But if you want to do more fussy cutting, you can separate them. It just is a matter of how much work do you want to do. The more you fussy cut, the better, but I do want to warn you that these little grass things bend pretty easy too if you get a whole bunch. I need this to just be a little bit shorter, and I'm going to use my fancy scissors just to give a rough edge. Okay, so we're going to slide it under the, I want to be able to see his legs a little bit there. Like that. And put our glue here. Nope. Right there. There he goes, right through the grass. And I've got an extra grass because I kind of felt like I needed them here. That's why I did these extras. So let's see if I do need them. I'm not sure that I do. You could put another clump of bush there. I think I'm going to just do some grass. Okay, what goes up but doesn't, up and down but doesn't move, it's stairs. Isn't that a good one for kids? Because that's, you know, actually a riddle. I like riddles. I think I like riddles better than jokes, but jokes are really funny if you have somebody who knows how to give a good delivery. If you know, I'm no Jack Benny, that's for sure. Best joke delivery person. Although, I do have to say, on the way to church on Sundays, Jeff and I typically listen to whatever radio station. Of course, this is the Bible Belt. I love it. And so there's tons of radio stations that play Christian stuff. Well, one station on Sunday morning on the way to church plays, always does the Christian comedy. It's really funny. All right, so we're going to stick that there. And I only need really one clump. And now that I'm looking at it, I do think it might have looked better if I had stamped for this one. See, I stamped this on Just Jade, and on this I stamped on Soft Succulent, it looks like. So, I think I like that. I think the Soft Succulent being darker but on the back side like that, I like that. This is okay, but I like that other one. So I think I like it better on with the Soft Succulent. Did I say that enough times? All right. Oh, there it is. There's my tag. This you want to have raised. And isn't he cute? Oh, I took out my ribbon. I didn't put it in very well, did I? All right. Put our dimensionals on the back. And we will be all done. Thank you so much for joining me today. I do really appreciate it. I don't like being here all by myself. So thank you so much. I hope you guys have a lovely day.
And if you aren't, remember, make a nice card and send it to somebody. And even if your day wasn't so lovely, you've made it lovely for someone else. I'm going to just go ahead and say it doesn't really matter even what kind of a day I'm having. If it's not a great day, then when I make a card, I feel so much better. I love doing this. It makes me happy, and I know it makes other people happy when they get them because they say that it does. I don't think they would be lying to me. There are, I put it on here somewhere. Here it is. Kaleidoscope kit. That is a new kit that is out right now. And it's actually a really cute kit. I don't POC kits too often because they're not ones that they don't appeal to me. It's hard to sell things that you don't really like that much yourself. And I love to do little dilly-dally, I love to mess with cards like this. Now, if you're not a person who likes to mess with them, you just want to get it done and get it out because you want to send these cards to people. You're not just doing it for fun. You actually like to send them to people. Then you are going to like kits. Kits are perfect for people who are trying to get a bunch of cards out quick because they've got like little kids around, or they're trying to do it with people who don't like to fuss, with cards like this. If you've got people who like to stamp with you, but they don't like to fuss, then those kits are great. Yes, I got ink on it, so I'm going to have to do something about that. But other than that, isn't he cute? Mountain of Thanks. I like that. That's a good one. And this stamp, this whole little 2 cards, and for me, maybe for someone else, not so great, but for me, a relatively short period of time, 2 really great cards. Now, I am excited about that. There's also Saying Thanks is another stamp set or a kit right now that's out. That is really, really cute. And so I would recommend getting that. The Saying Thanks one is just $13. And the Kaleidoscope one is $23. So it's a little bit more, but you could probably get stamps and things with it. That I bet the Saying Thanks one, you don't get any stamps. All right, thanks again for joining me. Don't forget to share my video and like it, and go to YouTube. Check out my YouTube channel and subscribe, please. I would appreciate it. I'm trying to get some more subscribers going there on that YouTube channel. And I think that's it. So I won't be doing a written tutorial for this. Too many too many variables, really. There aren't that many steps, but the variables are in the layering. The layering is what makes these cards really special. The slider thing is just all so cool all on its own. But normally these don't have a slider, but it's that layering. And just have fun with it. If you have a variety of stamps, then it's easier to layer. And if you don't have a variety of stamps, then you need to get a variety of stamps. And the best way to do that is to join our team. You will have lots of chances to buy stamps cheaper than you do if you're not part of a team. You don't have to sell anything. You just want to be part of a fun group, and you get to buy your supplies cheaper. So anyway, we would love to share it with you. Have a great week, and I will see you next week. I don't think anything's going on, although it is spring break for us next week. That means Jeff and I might be gone a little bit more, but I'll be here on Monday, I'm sure. And then I will see. I've got so many things loaded on the side here to do. I don't know what I'm doing. It's hard to pick. This one, the slider, is what made me decide, oh, okay, we're going to go ahead and do these 2 together, so I can get both of these sets out here to you and have you see the paper, have you see the stamps and the dies, because they're really cool, both of these bundles. The Legendary Ride and the graded, what is it? I can't even remember now. Legendary Ride, that one. Let's get them out so I say the right name. Oh, Greatest Journey. That's what it is. Greatest Journey. And sort of a bonus, that Sending Smiles. This is a really good basic one. Lots of great sentiments. And the stamps are cute too. See you later. Have fun. Bye.